Oh, hey, I'm Bill. Welcome back to Terp Talk, a show with heady questions and even headier dabs. It's the show where we interview the cannabis community while we take progressively bigger dabs. And today, we have a very special guest, Slick Rick.
Hey.
Thanks for making the journey.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Okay.
I appreciate you guys.
Dude, yeah, your glass has been on the shelves for a while. It's good to have you actually in the building.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah, I'm glad to be here. I've seen you guys all, on all your stories and seen plenty of the Terp Talk, so it's cool to be here and see it all in person. And yeah, it's a lot bigger of a situation than I thought. especially now with this hole in the wall.
Yeah, dude,
breaking you to a whole nother situation. Yeah, this is huge.
We have definitely expanded a little.
Yeah,
it's nice.
Yeah, I love the new neon. It's definitely setting it off too. Invest in Headies neon.
Thank you.
Love that.
Dude, I love this surge wave you brought, the new.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Faceted.
Yeah, threw a facet on the inside.
It also probably works as a splash guard, huh?
Yep.
Oof. Big old rocket, but not too big. It's gonna take about the same Pelican size. Today, as I'm sure you already know, with the homie flew in from Middle America, MN.
Minnesota.
It's a fucking cool place to live right nowadays because you're allowed to smoke weed.
Yeah, it's happening quick. Yeah, we're doing a lot with the local Minnesota scenes actually coming up pretty hard and all.
It was already coming up.
I mean, it's just since legalization, it's just changing so quickly. I'm pretty proud of Minnesota right now. So
nice.
Yeah. It's pretty cool to see it all happen so quickly,
Even from the outside looking in, it seemed like you had a pretty good scene going on.
I mean, it's always been a really good scene. Minnesota's always been happening. We always had really good herb. We always had really good glass scene. But just having legalization happen so quick. It wasn't quickly, but the change in how everything went was we're having sessions now everywhere. It's every weekend people are getting together for smoking sessions at different places, what will be dispensaries. They're opening all over, and
fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's just a lot of cool stuff happening.
We're here. I guess we should start heating up for our P1s. Point one. I'm starting with the Avery. I got the Avery. Oh, we need a 45-degree Bucky McBuckerson. That's for you. That's a little Quave Club Bangers flat top bucket. Oh yeah. And just I'm sure all advanced users know, but it's very easy to forget. And when you're using a 45-degree angled Bucky McBuckerson or a slurp, you want to be careful not to fucking shoot that shit out across the room and get carpet turds all on your quartz. You want to try to do your best to push it into the rig.
Almost towards you, yeah.
Exactly. And sounds counterintuitive, I might slurp it into the neck. It's no, you won't. Just put it below it. I know it sounds simple, but I forget it myself sometimes, so I try to remind people. Good PSA. So, what are we doing for our first dab? This was a gift from our homies, the Backyard Boys and Fire Monkey AZ. They are fucking sweethearts and very positive cats. Oh, that is silly fire. This is Purple Poochies from Masonic Head Stash. It was a gift from the Backyard Boys fam, and I'm excited to dab it. I'm going to grab a clean dabber. So, yeah, please do. It's got a lot of good info on there. And then I'm going to scoop it. So we're hot and we're pretty much ready. What kind of temp are you thinking for a P1 out of a bucket? I'm thinking, well, I know what I'm thinking. What do you think?
I go 560, 570.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I like it. Let's do it. So we are going to temp down with our dab rates because we're heady cats. Oh, you're getting close.
No, I didn't even tempt it down. It alarmed at 580 still.
Oh yeah, good call.
Down. In my studio, I always leave mine a little above where I actually, because I'm oh, where's my dabber? Oh, there.
So smart.
In the studio, it's a little more hectic than in my house when I dab.
I'm going in. Same as you. Wow. I went in at 570 because I'm a psychopath, but still tasted amazing. The purpliest of all Poochies.
Yeah.
Shout out Backyard Boys and Fire Monkey AZ.
That was tasty, dude.
Yeah. Thank you again for the blessings. You guys are the bomb. That was magical. Mm. We love it. What brought you into the world of glass blowing?
So, I mean, just overall love for ganja started that, but so like I when I was probably like 19, I started going to a lot of music festivals, and I had a lot of friends that went to a lot of music festivals, but they seemed to like sell either something illegal, and I wanted to try to do something that I could, sell at music festival and ideally not have to worry about being illegal or get in trouble. So I like started selling glass, and it was mainly at that point just buying glass from other glass artists that I would meet at music festivals, and that kind of got that started where I realized that I could sell glass. And then I remember I started blowing glass originally, like the Wisco kid, this buddy of mine, Henry, kind of got me into it. And I was like in California at this point, and was like kind of had a few other things like growing weed and a few other things going on that kept my time. So I didn't really dive in fully, and then moved back to Minnesota, and then another buddy that I'd known for years, Dynamic Glass.
Yeah.
He just started getting into it, and he was just a few months in at this point. He's like, "You got to come to the studio and check this out." And I started, just started renting space there as well. And it was nice to have somebody that I knew for so long to like bounce ideas off of. We were both kind of like bouncing ideas off each other a lot and working off of. And it was in a studio first studio I worked was like 8 glass blowing like benches, and I mean it wasn't like a super well put together studio compared to like studios I've been to now, but it was ability for 8 people to blow glass. We had it was proper ventilation and everything, but it was just it was pretty amateur. There was no one in there to teach us, so it was just a bunch of kids trying to learn how to blow glass, and that just kind of pushed. And the scene's changed so much. I mean, 10 years ago is about when I started, and like it was hard to find people that would teach you. It was hard to find like studios that'll let you in and just say, "Oh yeah, look over my shoulders. That's no big deal." But I think the biggest thing that changed it was Instagram, the ability for people just to like the ballers in glass were like, "Yeah, like this is the technique I do. I'll show you how to do it." And it's that hard to where you can show people how to do it and be like, "Yeah, go ahead. If you can do it, good for you." And that's kind of pushed. And I think that's evolved the Heady scene so hard, is being able to, for people, instead of hiding these small techniques like wrapping rakes and inside out pipes that were hidden for a long time. Now all of a sudden people are like, "Yeah, this is how you do a chip stack, Marini build, and people will show it online, and you'll be able to look at it. And if you have the skill and devotion to go do that, you can do that. And that's way more possible now than it was 10 years ago. And it's been really cool to be able to like start in a time. It was the end of that time, I'd say, because things started getting easier where you could kind of, get on Instagram and see stuff pretty shortly after I started. But it's just, I feel like I've got to see a big evolution of the education and the overall ability to like learn techniques in glass.
All of that has pushed it forward a lot.
Yeah, and it's been really sweet. Yeah, but now you'll see really, really advanced techniques that are just shown online, and you can actually see that person that's pretty well known for doing something, and they'll show you how to do it, and that's what's pushed it, is the ability for someone to say, "Hey, this is how you do it." And if you have enough skill, you can go do it yourself. And it makes everyone just a better glass blower because you have to kind of keep up with that.
And it's making everyone want to level up. It's open sourcing the info, and then it's kind of like degenerate art also, where they're trying to level up on each other, like in the friend zone, but also the whole world is becoming open sourcing that info.
Totally, 100%.
That's magical.
Yeah, it's been awesome to see it change. And now most, a lot of the big name pipe shops will have like classics available now. That wasn't a thing when I first started. really went online. You could go like watch like Dustin Revere videos. That was like what you wanted to watch something online. That's what I watched like 10 years ago or like 9 years ago. But now it's like you can pretty much see. You can just subscribe to your favorite artist, and they'll like teach you how to do stuff. So it's like it's making a lot of new good glass blowers, but it's also making the guys that have been blowing glass for a long time have to keep up. It's like everyone's getting good so fast, and it's like there's a wealth of knowledge out there if you're willing to learn and put in the amount of hours, because a lot of the other part of it is muscle memory, and you can't really just buy muscle memory. You can't watch enough videos to get muscle memory. You can't do any of that. That's really just hours. Hours are powers, and you really got to like put in those hours, and it sucks, but it's like sometimes it's a real long time before your fingers are matched up to where you can spin, and every no matter how hot it gets, the point in the middle doesn't spin out. You can keep those two rods true together all the way. It's not something that people learn in the first few months. Usually, it's
true. So it's not just putting in hours, putting in the good hours.
Yeah, and it's all and there's a lot of things with glass to where, like I said, it's muscle memory, and this is another thing about when I said classes. Classes are awesome, and I've taken a lot of classes, but teaching classes is another thing where I've learned a lot, because a lot of it's muscle memory, and once you learn a technique, you're like, you kind of don't question it. Your muscles, you just know how to do it, and you don't question why it happened, as long as you push in here, do this and that, gravity falls this way. But you don't ever put that into words usually. Your muscle memory just kind of locks it in, and eventually you can do it while you're watching TV and you don't pay attention to it. But teaching a class makes you say, I do this, and I push this down with this hand and have gravity pull this way, and it makes you have to like visually see all of this in your head and like put words to it, which is like it makes you a better glass blower because of I don't know. Yeah, you just don't think of these things normally. It's second nature once you learn the muscle memory to it. You don't question it, and it's fun to.
I feel this
classes have taught a lot in that way as well,
and it probably helps you improve your strengthen your game by having to put words to it.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. Yeah, there's points where I've taught classes and like I'll be realizing why it happens. I know it happens and I can make it happen, but putting words to it, you'll be like, oh yeah, that is, if I put my tail end up here and push in, gravity is going to come down, and then it's just everything makes sense. Everything happens for a reason, but sometimes you don't question those reasons if you've been doing it for so long.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just fun. Glass has been fun. It's kept me like just incredibly entertained for a long time now, and there's enough to do with glass that I couldn't imagine ever getting bored with it, just because if you ever get really good at something or ever feel like, there's things where you just do them a lot and you're like, oh, that's second nature. And it's like, I'm totally fine with that. And you start to, almost feel like you've mastered that. There's so many things that you can do that you will completely just have. If you've never done them, it'll recheck you. You'll be like, all right, yeah, I got to get good at this again. And you have to re-practice something. And it's something that it's like, there's so many techniques that could re-spark that, like, thrive to learn, and that's what keeps me loving glass, is I'll always be able to keep, trying something new. There's so many techniques that you have yet to, master. And it's like, there's very few things I would ever say I've mastered in glass. So it's like, there's so many, I don't think I'll have enough time in my life, to like do all the things I would love to do in glass. Just, there's that much stuff to do. And
talk about it like,
and that's right now. Imagine, our life to come, imagine all the other things, like crazy things people are going to start doing with Boro. And
true.
So it's pretty sweet to see still the boundaries get pushed every day.
True.
Like my buddy Renscraft, you see that dude?
Oh yeah.
It's like, just like, he's in Minneapolis too. So he's a Minnesota cat. I've known him for a long time. He was like within his first year of working, I probably met him like, right around a year or so of him working. I was just like, this dude is like just a fucking crusher and just thinks outside the box.
And he's
It's like one of the dudes that like everyone, and like, I don't know, everyone learns a certain way, and it seems like everyone's learned from somebody else, but some people learn from themselves and they don't take much like of the average path. They do little things that what some other people would be like, oh, that's maybe not the right way to do it. But those are like the people that I think always excel the quickest, you know, because they try things their own way. And he was one of the people that like from the get-go was like doing things that like, and I even remember people saying, oh, that's not the right way or something to do it. He had a really like different way of making a two-piece Sherlock, which honestly I started doing because it was so like, it made sense, but it's just different. Not a lot of people did it that way, but it was just, it's his way and he's good at doing stuff his way. So it's just cool to see when people like think outside the box, and there's just so much more to come for like people thinking outside the box and like evolving glass in what's becoming techniques.
Reminds me of like Shaolin monks and fucking like ninja shit.
Totally, yeah, 100%, yeah. And it's like, I mean, and that was like that type of stuff was probably really guarded almost to like how glass was for a while, you know, like people were very like guarded on, you had to like either, you know, apprentices back in the day, you had to go sweep the studio and you pulled points for them for 6 months before you ever even made anything for yourself, you know, and that's just what people did to like get knowledge. And like now it's just, that's not a thing. Yeah, it's not a thing. And like, I mean, it's like, it always seemed funny. I never did that. Like I was lucky enough to not have to do that. I didn't, you know, excel like crazy at, you know, maybe at that point, you know, like I had to like figure out how to do all the stuff kind of myself, which is, I honestly like that way. You learn a lot of, you know, ways to try new things and develop new techniques, hopefully, you know.
That is the adult learning model, is like try, fail, and then like adjust and try again.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. Yeah. Trial and error. I always tell people like there's a lot of people that I've tried to teach like classes, and my girlfriend, she pulls Marini, but that's all she does. She doesn't do any like hollow work, but she really.
What rig are you heating up for P2?
Bowman.
Put it on there.
Put it on there.
So she pulls Millie?
Yeah. She, ever since we had a child, she's been a little less active on the torch, but she was pretty active on the torch for a while.
That's sick.
But all she did was solid work and Marini work, which
and she makes
is awesome. Yeah, that's like
heady goat soaps.
Super heady goat soaps. Yeah.
Grateful.
It's the only soap I use.
Grateful goat soap. Check it out. They're heady as fuck. The hash we're moving on to is Keim Pie. Excuse me. It's Skittles and Keim Pie in a thing called Z-Lime Pie. It's fucking super heady. It's from the local homie, the Civ. It's sweaty. Its name is Betty. It's got me ready to eat some spaghetti for sure. And I'm going to get to it. This is only the P2? We got a lot in front of us. Yeah. Come on, Bill. Let's give it. I'll hand this over to you. Good job. Ooh, that looks good. Oh, we're doing our particulate looking. Look left. Look right. High five some people. Let's go. All right, chat. If you're dabbing with us, we're on the P2 round. Get ready. Terps are up. The only constant is change. That's why we always stockpile hash and headies. So we're ready for everything. Let's go. I'm using the Aaron Bourguignon Grateful Dead fucking Heady Bear spaghetti situation. The Grass Lab bucket. It's got the Bowman V5 bubble dumper. The Grass Lab bucket as well. We are chirping out 0.2, so I'm going in kind of warm, boys. What are we thinking? Like 580, 590? All right. I'm gonna use Zach Brown to cap it. He's got a glass straws bubble cap that matches really well over there. Yeah. All right, 590 dropping in. Oh, shizzle. A lot of terps. Let's go. Terp James in the building. What's good? Whoa, God. Whoa. I need a pipe jack just for this rig. I can usually have this height. I can just effortlessly hit it. God, these terps are amazing. Fucking key lime and Skittles. Had a baby.
Yeah, I've always liked all this leaf.
Slurpers from here on out. I'm dying. Thank you. Oh, we found the water. Yes. All right. Well done. Where do you go find inspiration for your millie tiles?
Oh, that's it.
In general.
Yeah, that's an awesome question. Because all of my millie pretty much, I make a lot of different millie. And
Millie, hell yeah. Dead Deck Dab Tools. Welcome.
the patterns are like one of my favorites. I always love making pattern stuff. And the inspiration for pattern stuff is like literally everywhere. Like everywhere is inspiration for pattern stuff. Like any of these images behind us would be sick patterns. Because like everything, especially if it's not just your average image, like this with all these other chaotic images in it, you times this by 4, this thing is going to be sick. It's just going to like, so I get inspiration by just like anything with like the ability to repeat. I just like, yeah, just like that would be really sweet repeated. That would be so sick. Like there's just a lot of inspiration. One of the first, so yeah, a really cool way to answer this question was one time when I was very fresh into doing tiles. My grandpa, like he was selling his like house that it was like the house that I remember like for my whole childhood, like my parents moved a few times. So it was like the house that was always there my whole life, and like there was this pattern. It was in the bathroom and in the kitchen. And I did that pattern in millie. Yes. And it was one of the first like patterns, like repeated patterns I did was my grandpa's bathroom tiles, what I called it. And I still have some. It's, and that house is gone, so I love that. It's a very meaningful millie. But yeah, I've also like just literally taking pictures, walking down the street, old like Masonic work. Sometimes like they'll stack the bricks in really cool ways to where it's like it repeats, and you'll see like literally like patterns that are similar to millie patterns just everywhere. And it's so you can get inspiration for that like just almost it's anywhere, walking pretty much to the bathroom in this place. But a lot of my tile work like is used like parts from other images, so you'll see like a lot of other like images used in those like pattern works as well. So like which is a great way to like use some of these images, because in Marini work you'll make say like one part and you'll have enough of that part to do the image 2 or 3 times, but you don't always want to do the image 3 times, so like using that spare part is kind of sometimes hard to do. So like you'll see even in like this part, there's like stars and stuff in here that like I got you. Yeah, there's like stars in there and like all kinds of other stuff from other polls, like especially the stars kind of pull out. But
yeah, there's a lot in there. And
yeah, it's hard to see.
It's super sick. One layer of it.
So I use a lot of like parts from just other polls and stuff. So it also like we were talking about this earlier, it adds like almost like a timestamp, like of each of these millie polls were usually used in a certain time period before I ran out of it, and like so it kind of adds as like a timestamp. A lot of artists will like kind of, if you show them that work, they right away start reminiscing about a time period of just having that millie. Sometimes I think it's funny, like awesome. Rather than even looking at the bottom and seeing the date, some artists will just start to look around for like features, and like
art is like that. It's like a lot of art or music, or it just like really brings you back to a time.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the way I feel when I see it. You transcend back to a time period. So it's really fun to I love seeing other artists do the same thing that I feel like I do as well.
You bought it. I will take that Bowman and that Aaron B. Thank you. Fucking love this rig. Might have to just keep it, honestly.
Yeah,
It's way
thanks,
too heady.
sweet.
What's your P3 rig?
Oh, the Surge Wave.
Wow. You're breaking in the Surge Wave. We love it.
Nice.
Such a heater. I think we need to upgrade to slurps at this point.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, these things like slurpers.
Point 3 is a good one. We move on from these fruity land to the GMO. But not just any GMO. This thing like smacks. Cyclone. Try this bad boy. And then try this bad boy. And then rip it and see how it rips. And if we like it, we'll heat it. If we don't like it, we'll switch something. Seems pretty good.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's looking good. Nice. Oh, and we're getting the dab right ready in advance. This is an advanced tech, people.
Yeah, I don't always get smart enough to pull that one.
Me neither. Me neither.
While I had the chance.
Yeah, I saw you doing it, and I was like, great work.
Yeah.
I love that. This bubble dumper looks fun. There's like a little bit of cough just stuck in my life. I need to do like a big cough and get it out of my life. I'm getting tired over here. I just need to drop like $350 on the electronic pipe jack.
And we do this once a week too.
Bro, every Tuesday.
Yeah.
For the most part. Occasionally we take a Tuesday off, but occasional gets. But I just confirmed most of the people, and they're like, yeah, I'm on. Yeah, so that I actually just got from the homie at Dab Right Invitational on Sunday. So just 2 days ago. He is a OG TSV owner, a real one. Just like a real nice guy. And got a lot of heady glass too. He appreciates finer things in life. And he appreciates fine turfs. He really only runs material from like 3 or 4 different like farms.
Yeah.
And he's very picky about like what he will run. All of his shit, I shit you not, slapped like a lot. Like he was on the show actually, and we did a whole gauntlet with him and his partner, and I was incapacitated after, not like just a little bit slowed down, like I had to lay down and like take a little nap or something. Shit's fucking powerful, so be ready. Quality squishes. Terp James knows what's up. He's like, he's tried it. Fire emojis. Oh, shout out Tito's. He made this dabber and a few others. He's a heady woodworker who also makes dabbers.
Yep.
And he really does it right because he like dabs tough, so he knows what is necessary. I'm gonna use this dabber for this next one. Let's get ready to get stinky. The GMO stinky. You gotta get that. Oh, we're gonna have to just sweep that
right off paper easy.
Fire Monkey AZ in the building. Greetings, dude. Thank you for jumping in. Just wanted to tell you that our P1s today were of this Masonic head stash, Purple Poochies, which was a gift from Fire Monkey AZ himself.
They're all super tasty.
Super fire. Thank you for the fucking fire blessings, bro. Glad to have you here. And we're just on to the point 3 round of quality squishes GMO. And nice. Duke of Dabbing, tuning in from work, just being the fucking headiest.
That's sick.
Appreciate you and fucking heady cat. Alright, I think we could be about ready to roll. And then that white cap is the one I would recommend for you. That Zach Brown, yeah. Because it's like the perfect size for that little cyclone hail. Raise it up a tiny bit. Oh, yeah. Also, I thought I lost this control tower and was real sad for like a couple days until Leo found it deep in a pelican that I never thought it would be in. She's a ninja at finding things.
Approaching 600.
I am.
Hit this thing.
I'm
About like 5 or like what?
This is a P3, so I think like 520 is a good tip.
Yeah,
Don't forget your cap.
Fatty.
I'm at like 580 and dropping.
550.
Sick. All right, I'm at 560. I'm gonna move this out of the way just for more heady viewing for you cats at home. 25. I need to hire Tim.
Yeah, I need it. Hired.
It's cool. Live and learn. 5E is not enough, even though we had so much course. That means we're gonna have to go to like 600 on one of these last ones. We're crazy. Like we're ready for it.
Oh no,
it's good. It's good. Good job. Put it under that. I pulled some advanced tech and pulled off like half my dab because I saw I was going in too low. So I was like, fuck it. It's gonna just be floated out anyway, so I'll put it in half. So I have a really fat dab of GMO for you, Eddie Giraffe. Lined up right here. It's like probably almost half that dab. I'm sorry, people. I'm still completely fucked up off that. In fact, probably more fucked up because I got bigger clouds by cutting my dab smaller.
Yeah, I definitely got it.
It happens. We're on a show. We're allowed to waste.
Yeah, I got one of those Ewok pulls, and that thing, like, God, I swear, if I hit it, like, it's like crazy how much that thing holds heat sometimes.
Does it have like the little etchings in it?
Yeah.
Those are sick.
From Lake East, Minnesota.
Nice. Eddie got me. All right, being a Minnesota local, what was it like growing up in a place that up until now recently frowned upon cannabis? What are some of the changes you have noticed now that it is legalized?
So Minnesota, I mean, they always were like pretty like still like heady for like an illegal state. I mean, like when I went to California, and I remember like everyone that I would meet would be like in Humboldt County, they'd be like, "Oh, you're from Minnesota? How much is weed back there?" They'd always know like it was just worth a lot of money back there, but it was just there was always we'd always found good herb, and like there's always been a pretty good scene there, but
Okay.
it always sucked having to be so underground, like it was always a very underground scene, but I got to, I know enough, I met enough people to like kind of just meet enough, go to sessions and stuff when they were still legal and shit like that a bunch, there was still a lot of cool shit, but since it's been legal, it's changed a lot, it's like right off the get-go, like we passed a law. We also passed a law to like be able to smoke anywhere you can smoke cigarettes. So it's like pretty different. I've been to a lot of legal states, and now it's it's still illegal usually to smoke on the streets at least. And right now in Minneapolis, you can fully do that. So like it's just pretty.
That's awesome.
It's pretty wild, and there's a lot of because of that. There's a lot of like.
Wait, so it's like treated like cigs?
Yeah, at any point you could. Any other than a car, you can't smoke in a car, obviously. And there's like a few other like things, but there's like on public streets you can smoke, so it's pretty different. There's a lot of it opens up like a lot of ability to do like sesh parties and stuff to where there's like bands and stuff, but also like just a bunch of smoking on site and public smoking, and so like Legacy Cup, Legacy Glass, they have a head shop in Minneapolis and also Duluth. They started in Duluth and then moved to Minneapolis, or not moved, but expanded to Minneapolis. I'm sorry, but they throw the Legacy Cup now, and they've done it for 4 years. I think this is the 4th year. It was CBD while they were kind of gearing up for. It going legal, and it was everyone kind of seeing it coming. And Josh, the guy that runs Legacy, he was right behind in the pictures of the governor signing the bill. He was like one of the people right behind him's shoulder. He was like, there's a bunch of people, say 20 or 30 people in the room while he's doing that. A lot of people that probably had some kind of hand in it. And he's not even like in politics, really. He's just very active in the cannabis like scene and did a lot for Minneapolis, to get there, and he's the one that threw the Legacy Cup, where it's a music event where they threw best weed, best dab, and then there are like biggest dab, best roll joint,
Wow.
best hash. Like it was pretty cool for Minnesota. It's like, but it's still like a few years out before they're gonna have dispensaries. It just went legal. In August, so it's pretty fresh into it still. But So I even think a lot of the people that entered their weed was probably like other states' weed. You know, you gotta imagine. Maybe there was some. Actually, I know there is people that have been growing there for quite a while, but I know a lot of people entered out of state weed there as well. But
Yeah.
it's kind of funny.
Yeah, that is kind of funny. But it's a nice time to be a part of it where it's like just in its infancy.
Yeah.
And it's popping off. Sounds fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Yeah, man. It's a lot of cool things now. So like they're doing a lot of dispensaries that are planning to be able to open. I think they got to jump through whatever hoops, and it's not going to be able to like start to the public, you know, for a little bit. But they're having ability right now to like say throw sessions every week to where they kind of gain people coming in and gain traction to getting into like the scene and probably do some stuff to keep afloat and like while they're trying to, you know, pay the rent obviously and keep their places going before they can actually sell there. So there's a lot of opportunity to do cool stuff like that.
Hell yeah. Look, a ghosted red vibe.
Yeah. I think we should put a racing stripe on it or something.
And it kind of like with a slurper kind of gives that like
Yeah.
we're not gonna keep you cats waiting. We're gonna heat up, get fucking super ripped out of our Gordle pieces,
And then get
ooh, look at this Zach Brown how it matches. It's got that like sparkle, and then this got that sparkle. Ooh, sparkle magic.
sparkle magic. Pretty sure there's like a child show my daughter watches that says that.
I believe it.
Sparkle magic. Sparkle magic. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure.
It's also from Donnie Darko too. Never forget. The hash is really fucking good. This is called Mac Mix, and it's 3 different Macs. One is a sour dub times Mac. One is like a pheno of Mac, and one's another heady pheno of Mac. Got these heady top things for extra seal ability, which makes me feel good. And yeah, so I do. Thank you. And also check this out. It's so magical. And we can see it on camera too. It's looking very like sweaty.
Juicy. Yeah.
Juicy indeed. I'm a fan. Oh wow, Mac Mix. I'm going in kind of warm too because last time I only got about half of it. We're here to we mean business. You ready to attempt down?
Yes.
Let's do it. Let us do it. Heady Betty Spaghetti.
What do you think I should go with this?
The bullet setup. I think we are doing a P4, so it's a lot of hash.
Yeah.
Of our homie Feel Good Rosin. So I still think we should get it like on the higher side, but not like too crazy. So like, let's say 600.
Yep. I'm approaching 600.
Me too. I'm at like 610. Here I go.
Yep.
Oh God.
Oh man.
Wow, you are crushing it. I'm running out of gas. Thank you. I forgot to clear that. I'm sorry.
Man, it's
Yeah, it really does. That demon bullet setup.
oh.
Wow, it's like great championing that dab.
Oh. Well, just don't want to stop hitting this.
Yeah, yeah.
I love this thing.
I know what you need. Especially with a slurper. That Mac mix.
Whoa. It was tasty all the way through.
Feel good. Killed it. I'm getting warm all over.
Oh. Good one.
You took a dab so big that I died. Water. Thank you, water, for existing. So glad we didn't go any hotter. I'd be so dead right now. 600 was the max I could take. What do you think helped you stand out from the crowd to win People's Choice Millie of the Year 4 years in a row at Las Vegas, which is where we met and is a Heady gathering?
So like, just try to stay doing something new every year, and I don't know. It's every year. It's the one thing that I feel like push myself to do the hardest. Like hours, like on a build wise, is like every year. It's probably the most strenuous thing I try to do. So like, I mean, I hope that's also a good reason. But also, I'd say going to a lot of events, getting People's Choice is going to be also being seen or being known for doing something. So just trying to be doing as much as I can to be visually out there, being seen, and hopefully being seen holding that title would be, like a thing that I think it just makes it easier for every year when you go into Las Vegas. Like they put a big poster, a giant poster, it's bigger than me, that I won last year. So it's just every recognition and stuff like that helps, as well, I'd say.
Oh, yeah.
But I've tried to stay doing Fresh Millie as well. I think would also help that, but
I was just thinking, and making heat.
But yeah, I'd like to say it's a combination of both, So like, but I think also staying out there and just staying, like relevant in the scene. So like, yeah, every year I try to do something a little different. Like last year I won was like a microwave piece. So it was like actually like done with the assistance of the microwave fusing kiln. So I made a millie and then a border for it, and then I like fused the millie to a dike road. So the millie had all clear, so like all through the like space and all the components of space you could see through to the background, and then I fused that onto clear and then fused that onto black. So it was like a 3-layered thing, so it had depth and everything, and so just trying to do new stuff. Like it's an old technique. The microwave fusing kiln has been used for soft glass stuff for a long, long time, but I think it's pretty relatively fresh that people have been using it for Goro, at least in the terms of like pipe scene type stuff. And like a lot of people, I even tell them that, I'm totally, people that have told me about it, we're open about it, and I try to be open with anyone, tell them where they can get the kiln. And some people think you're joking when you're like, yeah, it's a microwave fusing kiln. Like, what? No way. And like a regular microwave? Yeah, like a regular microwave. And you can put this kiln in it and it'll fuse the pieces of glass in as small of a time as 15 minutes, bringing it to 3,000 degrees, which is almost mind-blowing, that's like how long you would cook some food at. So it's like...
Later.
Ready to heat up? Just gotta dab through it at this point. And then we'll clean them really good after. Unless it's something you can get with a Q-tip. Have those. Alright. Oh, shit. The perfect setup. This soup bay with the 1055 converter. I need to rip this one more time. Make sure I'm liking it. I forgot to check. That's scary. Yeah, I can do it. Just gonna have to feed it in. It's got a lot of pressure. I don't want to flood it. Thank you. The hash is magical. It's called Purple Magic. It's from Healing Herbs Farm. And then this is from the NCRC, which is NorCal Rosin Cup. It's an extremely heady gathering of hashers that all got the same material from the same garden, Healing Herb Farm. And they all had to wash it and press it and like present it however they wanted, and then blind taste tested it. What's this new heating device? Great question, COVID. It's called Terp Sous Vide. Why it's called TSVtv? Because basically it uses hot air to evenly heat every millimeter of your quartz. It's hands-free, so we get to like get our dabs ready, chat about life, and it's better for your quartz by not overheating it. Better for your terps because of the even heat up. You'll have less waste and more taste. It's better for Mother Earth because you're not just stripping of her natural resources like butane. You can just heat in a more natural way. The electricity, I know not all electricity is created green, but it's much easier to create green electricity. You can't create green butane, Vamalium. And then it's also just easier to use. Like, it's safer and easier to use. That's basically what it's all about. You grab one on terpsuvv.com. Great question. It's also, if you go to info of our like Twitch It'll be like invest in Headies Gallery, TSVtv for the heating device. You can click one right there.
Cheers.
Cheers. Indeed. Let me scoop this. Ciao. Love it. Cheers is heady. I mean, we should treat.
My daughter says that's like everything.
I love
Anything if you have one and she has one. Cheers. It's like whatever it is.
That's how I give my son to eat.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Like, I gotta get sandwich. Grab some of the sandwich. Cheers, buddy.
Yo.
No, you gotta eat it. It's like,
Yeah. It's awesome. Love that.
Alright, so we're purple magicking. We're gonna want to go in at like probably like above 600, as great as it sounds.
Yeah.
Because 600 was a little cool.
That's what I did last time. And yeah, there's still. I milked her for everything.
I'm not doing 650, but I'll do like 620.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Whee! I'm going to adjust this a little lower. This is such a sexy setup. Oh shit, he's getting after it. We love it. I'm right behind you. It's been nice knowing you. Wow. This guy means business. It's serious never. Alright. Goodbye. 625.
Oh, the dirt. Oh. Coach.
the pressure and the heat and dying. Yeah, there's a lot of pressure on it.
Oh my god, Terps.
Ooh.
Woo.
Yeah,
I was in a bad spot for a second. Just
First time I've been
coughing a lot.
damn, man.
0.5s at 625 will fuck you up off of trip arresters and demons and such. Be careful. Oh, that soup bay too, but that pressure. The fuck. It's amazing with a banger, and that's really good with a slurp too, but it's crazy the pressure it creates. I'm dead. I think we came and we saw it and we conquered. Oh, did you tell us about your crazy cannabis story? Did I miss it?
Oh, yeah.
Dying? It's okay.
Humboldt story.
I'll rewatch it.
The average Humboldt story. Probably.
No way.
No. It was just some crazy farm. When I was like 21 or something, it was like 2012. Well, say I was 22. I came here to trim and like went to like Humboldt County and like didn't really, I just heard stories about trim places. Yeah. I didn't really like ever. But I went all cross country to go like this place. Yeah, and just like right away hated trimming and like the dude was like, oh, look, you mean it's so fun.
It's so much fun.
Horrible. But the dude was like, if you pretty much like the average like Humboldt con, like, oh, if you just work here for a while, you could learn to grow weed and stay and just like spend like the next season there, root for him. And then it was, looking back on it, I would, even though the dude was like a horrible dude, he got busted and like, he had all of his neighbors, and he was like pretty infamous dude in Humboldt County, like Tim Littlefield, like just grows like a ton with his whole family on the side of this hill in like Wichipec and like Humboldt. And he got busted the year I was there and like put on like Pot Cops, which was on like Discovery Channel, and like it was season 1 episode 2 end of harvest or some shit like that. It was kind of funny.
That's so horrible.
Yeah, it was funny as hell though. So but even that video is hard to find now. But it was in like 2013 or 14 it came on.
Shit was crazy.
But yeah, that was kind of funny. There's a lot of crazy people in Humboldt.
Yeah.
Dude, well, that's a wrap for us. Thanks for tuning in, people. We appreciate you.
Thanks for checking it out. Appreciate you guys for having me as well.
Hell yeah, dude. Thanks for coming through. Yeah, it's super fun.
Yeah.
And like, thanks everyone at home. You're part of making up the episode. Thanks for tuning in to Terp Talk. Come join us on our Twitch streams as we make the next episode. Ugh, I'm still dying. We couldn't have done it without our special guest, the slickest of all Ricks, Rick Glass.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Fuck yeah.
Appreciate you guys and all of you, of course.
I feel like we can clap after that. That was good. Let's go. Great work. All right, we're out of here. If you're not following Slick Rick, please do it.
Yep.
He's fucking coming up quick.
Thank you very much.